Did you ever wonder how to find your calling? Here's a few tidbits from my history. I had visions out of control. Things happened. I'd see people's faces slipping around. It made me kind of nervous. I was warned that I might be crazy. So what happened is I went through some crises. Things got worse. So I went into health foods and I worked on myself and worked on myself, and I learned that visions out of control have a lot to do with blood sugar fluctuations. So I became the best eater, the best supplement taker, the best studier of nutrition that you ever met. And I could do every tick in my body. I knew what it meant. And I also stabilized my visions. They didn't happen anymore like that. But what did happen is as I did more workouts and got paying attention to the endorphins in my brain, you know how they get going when you're running or doing some high exercise, I could ask myself a question or ask my higher self a question. And as I did my dance or my workout or whatever, the answers would come in the form of visions. I was creating my own vision. How do you know what to follow in your life? Well, my life kept falling apart and falling apart. And I always knew inside that I wasn't really who I was. And it scared me, but I didn't know how to bridge the gap. And usually, if we're like that, and I know a lot of people are like that, you're going to get some biddings and some clues. Things fall apart. Things fall apart worse. Relationships don't work right. Or you feel numb inside. Or you feel acutely lonely. I remember reading years ago that loneliness means you're off track and your inner is calling you to look for who you really are. So I want to say to you, start off. I did a whole bunch of things. I started off with doing a lot of yoga, and as I say, working with health foods so I could figure out how my body worked and how my mind worked. Yoga, meditation, physical activities, asking questions of the higher. Sometimes a book will fall off a shelf and you'll get an answer there. Sometimes somebody will say something. I used to laugh and go, oh my gosh, I got in the elevator and the person standing there said the very thing I had been looking for, and I never did meet that person. I used to say, ha, there's a prophet in the garbage can. You just don't know where the information's going to come from. But what you want to do is be stable inside, going, this is not my life. This is not my calling. And then awaken yourself to pay attention what's around you. Where do the beckoning fingers come from? An invitation, perhaps a suggestion for, as I said before, a book. And many people have experienced how a book will suddenly fall off a shelf right in your hand and you'll realize that that's something you're supposed to read. Or being at a movie or listening to friends talk, but you listen with a special attention. What's mine here? And if it's yours, guess what? You're going to feel a really nice vibration in your gut, in this part of you that digests life. You're going to feel a kind of a belonging. You're going to feel a kind of an excitement, and you know that you're coming home somehow. The process can take a long time. It can take a short time. Some people have a near-death experience, but it might take them 12 years to process that. So you don't rush, but you set your mind and your heart and your rapport with your guides, even if you don't know them, to awaken you to experience any of the beckoning fingers that are there for you in your life. Because you're the only one in the universe that's you. And it's really exciting to discover what's really important about you on this path.